It's unboxing time again. I've got a stupid grin on my face because I'm really happy. Okay, let me show you what I got. Okay. Let's see, I'll just dump that down there. It is a carbon steel wok. These are the directions that come with it. And you do want to take the time to read because this is like a sophisticated piece of cookware. This is not like using a stapler or a tape dispenser. You have to really treat this right and take care of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this to learn about using this the first time. It comes pre-seasoned, which is nice. I can show you something about seasoning. This is my carbon steel skillet, my little one. I also got a big one hanging up. Look how black that is. This started life looking kind of like this, right? But you use it again and again and again, and you're careful with it about cleaning it. Don't cook anything acidic in it, no tomatoes, no vinegar, so forth. And it'll build up this patina over time, and that's what protects the iron, the steel, carbon steel, from rusting, and it helps to improve the non-stick surface. I still use fat when I cook with this, but you want this coloration. The wok ships with a thin coating of factory oil on it to protect it from rust during shipping. This is probably the one time you'll use warm, soapy water. You need to scour it really well with a non-abrasive scouring pad. This is plastic, so this won't take off any of the factory seasoning. So I'm going to do that first. After washing the wok, you want to dry it well with a clean paper towel. Rub it all over the surface, and what you do is you look to see if there's any marks on there. See how dark that is? That's not clean enough yet. It's got to be done again. Gonna dry this again. Okay, pretty clean. Looks a little wet, but it doesn't have any gray on it. Okay. Then I'm going to let this air dry a little bit before I oil it. I want to explain a little bit. This came as a gift. This was from YOSUKATA. I watched a lot of videos on woks. I wanted a really good carbon steel wok. There was one video in which a guy had, I think it was 17 woks in his kitchen, and he compared them all, and the YOSUKATA was the one that he rated the highest. A lot of chefs like this one. This is a 13.5 inch, which is good enough for cooking meals for 1 or 2 people. I live alone, so this is going to be good enough for me. The thing with carbon steel, if you take care of it, it'll last a lifetime, and you can gift this to your children, to your grandchildren. It can be passed down generation to generation. I'm going to start heating this on the stove, and then they say you want to put oil in there and heat it just till it starts smoking. So I just turned the heat off under my pan. It was on the heat for 10 minutes. Once the oil started to smoke, I turned the temperature, the heat way down, and left it on the heat for a good 10 minutes. I use corn oil because corn oil has a fairly high smoke point. According to my chart of smoke point of oils, let's see, corn oil has a smoke point of about 450 degrees Fahrenheit, 232 degrees Celsius. Now I got to wait for the pan to cool. So now I got to tell you what else YOSUKATA sent me. This is almost as important as the wok itself. This is a lid. And this is the hardware for the lid, the handle. Some assembly required. So let me get this assembled and then we'll talk about the lid. So there's the lid, assembled stainless steel lid. The handle was easy to put on. They show you, they give you directions on how to do that. So why is this so important to me? I like this because I cook with frozen mixed vegetables because it's so much easier to do stir fries when the vegetables are already blanched in advance. They're already chopped up. You just have to put them in a wok. I need to defrost, thaw, and cook those vegetables in the steam before I add my other ingredients. So that's what I use a lid for. Check out these utensils. This is a wok, not quite a spatula. I think of this as being a spatula. This is a slotted spatula, 14 inches. They have plenty of length to keep my hand away from the heat. This is a wok spoon, and some people call this a wok shovel. So this is going to be interesting to work with because I have never used metal on my cookware. So my wok has thoroughly cooled down now, and that's one of the beauties of carbon steel is unlike cast iron, which can retain heat for a long time, carbon steel cools rather quickly. So you can adjust the heat in your pan. You can put it on the flame, take it off the flame, put it on the flame, move it around as you need to adjust the heat inside the pan. My last step now is to wash this, but this is where you don't use soap anymore. It's just water, hot water, and a soft sponge, no dish detergent, and then you dry it really well. Now you dry it really well. I'm using a very absorbent cloth here. And I'm going to break the rules a little bit. I'm going to finish the pan with a few drops of oil and then spread that around. And you want to just coat the pan like working with cast iron so that it looks shiny but doesn't look wet. I'm seeing some discoloration. That's from the oil smoking. And that pan now is prepared for cooking. And what I'm going to do to demonstrate cooking is I'm going to do a separate video, a cooking video, and I'm going to make beef and broccoli. So a few final thoughts about this wok. Again, this is the YOSUKATA 13.5-inch flat bottom. It's got a flat bottom to it, flat bottom wok. Some woks have a rounded bottom. They make a rounded bottom as well. Those are good if you've got a wok stand to hold the wok. A round bottom on me would roll around too much on my cooker. So I don't want that. I want the flat bottom. So that's that. The lid, a little thing about the lid, it's got 3 little vent holes right there. So when you're working with like vegetables that will steam, it'll let some of the steam come out. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, my utensils. These are going to be fun to work with. And I saw that this is called a turner. I called it a spatula. It's a turner. And this might be the spatula. I don't know. Anyways, that's for the gift from YOSUKATA. I intend to really use these in my cooking videos because I am really getting into making stir fries. I love stir fries. They're quick and easy, and they're, I think, very nutritious, mostly vegetables. I love it. So that's my review of the YOSUKATA flat bottom 13.5-inch carbon steel wok.